one more time. I think that's the part. Like, my name is Chuck. As always, I'm with my main man Danny.
What it do, people?
Alright, so like always, we're gonna go back to our normal format again. So we're gonna pop off with some tech stuff. Last week was pretty slow, so rather than me and Danny talk about a bunch of bullshit, we decided to wait till this week. So let's get us kicking off with the new the ASUS FonePad tablet that's getting ready to drop here. They got some phone powers now too.
I hate this shit, man. I hate this shit. Wasn't I saying this shit last week about the phones just getting bigger and bigger? And I swear we have 3 of them this week. And the first one is a ASUS FonePad 7-inch tablet with phone functionality. I mean, more than anything, from what I've been seeing, they're really trying to market this thing as a phone more than a tablet. And it's basically a stripped down Nexus 7. It's running Jelly Bean, 1 gigabyte of RAM, big ass battery, different micro SD, 30.
Big as shit.
Yeah, this shit, it has the weak ass camera, but I think the biggest marketing thing for this is that it has phone capabilities. How handy that is, because if you have something like this, you have to have a Bluetooth, because you will look like a dumbass with a 7-inch.
Yeah, absolutely.
With a 7-inch phone, tablet, phablet, whatever the fuck they're calling it, up to your face. It has a price tag of about $250 on it. And yeah, like I said, there's really nothing too special about this. It's a stripped down Nexus 7. If you're looking just for tablet capabilities, you might as well get a Nexus 7 instead of getting this. And the excitement behind this, I think, is going to be more of the fact that this came out with our other 2 stories, which we're going to talk about this. But how do you feel about these fucking 7, 8, and 6-inch phones?
Nope. It's stupid. Like, I think there's got to be a clear, like, separation between, okay, this is a phone, this is a tablet. Like, I'm cool with the whole phablet thing. Mm-hmm. Like, as long as it's, like, what we've been seeing, like, the 5-inch screens or whatever, that's tolerable. But, like, at 7 inches, like, we already have 7-inch tablets. So what the fuck is the point of having a phone that's that big? Like,
because this is not going to replace your phone.
It's not practical to carry around. Like you said, it's damn sure not practical to hold it up to your face, like, to talk. Like, it's stupid.
This thing isn't going to replace your phone.
Nah.
It's not going to replace your phone at all. I think nothing should be bigger than a Note 2. If it's marketed as a phone, it should not be bigger than any of the Note phones. Like, I really don't see, like, if you think about it, if you have your phone.
Like, I'm looking at the picture right now.
Mm-hmm.
Now I was saying, like, I'm looking at the picture right now, and, like, it looks big as fuck. Like, it's got, like, a wide bezel on it and everything. Like, if you're gonna make a big screen, like, you can make a small, like, the profile doesn't have to be huge.
Yeah. Well, like I was about to say, like, even if you have, let's say you have a Galaxy S3 in your pocket, arguably one of the best phones out right now, and then you do own this thing, and you get a phone call. Why would you pick up your phone call on this and not your S3? That's what I'm not understanding about making these things. Like I said, we're going to talk about 3 of these. We're going to talk about 3 of these today. So I don't get why in the world you would want a phone capability. I don't know how much adding a radio to this boosted the price up. I don't know if it would have been $50 less, because I think this thing would have been much more marketable as a $200 tablet or as a $150 tablet minus the phone capabilities. I don't know if adding that radio boosted the price up that much.
I don't know. This, like, screams gimmick to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, I don't know if I don't see how it's gonna make a mark or anything. Like, not even the price tag. Like, there's just no point.
This thing ain't going nowhere. This thing's not going anywhere.
I don't.
At least not here.
Between
Maybe.
the iPad Mini, the Nexus, and all that, like I can't see anything happening with this tablet. Like people were like, "Oh, I want to get this ASUS FonePad."
Maybe.
I don't see it happening, man.
Maybe because a theory I read about these cheaper tablets or whatever is that they're trying to place themselves in emerging markets like in India and Africa and some Latin American countries. Well, you know, not everybody could afford maybe the Nexus 7, but I mean, Nexus 7 is only about $50 more, but I guess $50 more is a couple of hundred more in some other countries. So maybe they're trying to market it to those type of environments. Because here you wouldn't like, if you have a nicer phone that came out in the last 6 months to a year, there would be no reason to have this phablet on you.
Shit, this shit is way past a phablet.
Yeah,
this shit is way past phablet status. All right, so let's move from this to I think the most interesting tablet news is they announced the Note 8, 8.0. So just drop some quick specs for y'all. It's the 1.6 gigahertz quad-core processor with a 1280 by 800 display with HSPA plus radio, and it's gonna drop with Jelly Bean, so it's gonna drop with 4.12. I like this idea. I'm a big fan of the Note tablet and the Note phone itself. I like the idea of it, and I think that the 8-inch is gonna be dope.
Have they said what's the price tag on this? Yeah, this thing definitely has all the right specs, but I'm not seeing a price on how much this would cost. What do you think it's gonna cost?
I think how much was the first one? How much was the 10? The 10.1.
Oh no, the 10 cost a couple bucks. The 10 was like $350, $400. It
was like 4 or 5, right?
Yeah, that was like $400. That was like.
So I said this probably be like 3 maybe.
Yeah, I think this was gonna be like $350. But fucking yo, I don't know if to give it up to Samsung or ask what the fuck they're doing, because they're just dropping shit all types of sizes. They're trying to have everything covered, because I know the new Galaxy S4 is supposed to be 5.9 inches, so that'll make it 6 inches. So you have the Note. How big is the Note 2? 5 inches? 5.5?
I think like 5.4 or some shit like that.
5.5 Note 2, 6-inch Galaxy S4, 8-inch this one right here, the Galaxy Note 8, 10-inch. I mean, like I said, more power to them, man. But this is definitely, you see, like, this is the competition that the ASUS pad would be going up against. Why would you buy an ASUS pad instead of buying this?
The only thing that I can remotely even think of is price.
Yeah, pretty much.
But even still, I would rather save my money
and get the better product.
Exactly.
And get the better product. It's gonna have the TouchWiz UX skin. And I mean, funny enough, I haven't heard too many people bitching about TouchWiz lately.
I like it, man.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot better than Sense.
Yeah.
Now that I'm on the TouchWiz ship here.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we forgot to announce that.
Yeah. I'll talk about that later, man. Talk about this shit later.
But let me see. Let me see. Is anything else stand out?
It's not so bad. It's not so bad. I turned that L into a W, kind of.
Do what you gotta do.
Depending on who you talk to.
Is there anything else here that stands out on this Note 8 to you?
Nah, I mean, you can't really say like that it's something stands out, like, because it's been done before, but like, I don't mean that in a bad way. I just think that, for some people, they don't like the 10-inch tablet, so they want something a little bit smaller. So I don't really mind the 8-inch, and especially if it's going to be a little bit cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really care too much. Like, it's going to be a little bit cheaper. So yeah, I mean, The processor, yeah, I guess so. It's gonna be a beast, but it's gonna be the same. The same functionality that we've seen in the Note 2 and in the Note 10.1. Just another addition to the Note family. Just more options for more people, different strokes for different folks.
What do you think they're gonna
That's
oversaturate
just the way I
themselves?
see it.
Do you think Samsung is gonna oversaturate
I
themselves
think
at
so.
any
I
point?
think I mentioned it last week.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it last week that now they're dropping the S4, or 2 weeks ago they're dropping the S4. They announced that, and I just feel like now they're pulling an Apple where they're just dropping anything and everything that they can, just because they've got it.
And again, they have the money. I was surprised the other day. I was reading something about them, and just in research and development, these fools have they throw $1 or $2 billion just at research and development. So they're spending that cash that they have, unlike Apple, who's hoarding it for some reason. But we're gonna get to that later on. But I mean, again, I'm not in the head of Samsung, so I don't know what the execs are thinking there. But maybe they're setting themselves up for the future to have all bases covered. They have the banging ass line of phones with the Galaxy phones. They have the good line of
Yeah,
phablets. They have the good line of phablets with the Note series, and now they're trying to solidify themselves more with the on the tablet end. Although although the Galaxy tabs are pretty good, they're nothing special. So maybe this is their entry into making something special with this Samsung Note 8.0. So hiding a tablet under your phone, under your phablet side. I don't know.
yeah. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I think they're just trying to like. I think they're just trying to do whatever they can to try and tap into the tablet market,
Yeah.
which is not necessarily a bad thing, but I don't know. I don't want them to just start throwing a lot of products out there just because.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's the same thing. I don't want to fucking see a Galaxy 4S or something.
Yeah, I don't even want to get started on the Galaxy S4, whatever. So that's mind-boggling in itself. But now let's move along to HP, who I thought were pretty much done making everything but laptops. But they announced the what is it called, the Slate 7.
The Slate 7. I think I'm one of the few people that actually like this. I haven't used one, but just looking at it, I like this, and I think this is a good move for HP, they've been slowly on that decline like BlackBerry has. And they're smart. They're smart. When it's stories out there, this might be a fail, and a lot of people are predicting it's going to be a fail. But at least they're getting themselves out there, and they get to test what works and what doesn't work. This is a $169 tablet, $170. Well, again, real modest specs. Dual core A9 processor, 1 GB of RAM, 16 gig storage, 7-inch screen with a 1024 by 600 display. That's nothing special. 3 megapixel camera on the front or on the back, and it's coming to stores in April. So as you see, nothing special about it. A lot of people got caught off guard because, like Judd just mentioned, we all thought HP, besides tablets, they were dead after the whole touchpad fiasco. But they're back with this Slate 7.
Got that Beats audio, dog.
What doesn't have fucking Beats audio now? Everything. I doubt. Sometimes
Every HTC device has it.
sometimes I think they just stamp that Beats logo on it, and these shits don't be having it.
They're like, yeah, let's trick all these folks. But didn't HTC buy them or some shit like that, right?
Yeah, they bought them, then they sold. They bought 50% of them. We spoke about this on one of our episodes. They bought 50% of them, and then they sold it right back to them. So
The
crazy.
fuck, man.
but talking
it's just another marketing ploy for HTC. Well, HTC has it, you know what I mean? But obviously, all the HP laptops have it as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not really a surprise that would have it. I just wanted to crack a joke. But, I mean, I don't know. I think maybe this will be a nice tablet for someone that kind of wants one, but they don't want to spend a lot of money on it, and you just kind of want to use it as like a media center. Then I think I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, this one adds things that the Nexus 7 was missing, like the biggest thing is a micro SD slot, so you can upgrade your storage. A lot of people were complaining about that. It has USB ports on the bottom, and yeah, I like this. Like I said, I really like this. I hope it's successful, or at least it's decent, because we're both big fans of the touchpad, even though it basically bombed and it was on fire sale and it relived.
Basically about it, yo.
Yeah, it bombed, but then it bombed, but it came back from the dead with the fire sale.
Yeah,
Came
that's
back
true.
from the dead. Came back from the dead. So, like I said, I'm a big fan. It's like you said, this can be a little media device. This is another one. This can be something you give to your, to your grandparents, your parents. Something you give to your kid if you don't want to give them something too expensive. And a couple of reviews I've read on it, the complaint hasn't been on the device itself. It's been the fact that HP came out with one. For whatever reason, that's been annoying some of the bloggers. Like, the device, they say it feels like a solid device. Obviously, it doesn't have no end of the world type specs, but there's plenty of other tablets that suck. And this by far isn't at the bottom of the pile, even though there haven't been many official reviews just yet. But yeah, again, I've said this a couple of times on other tablets that we've spoken about. If I had to give somebody, my mom or somebody else, a little tablet as a gift, I would give something like this. This is fine for a beginner. Matter of fact, for a beginner who doesn't know shit about specs, this might as well be an iPad to them.
Yeah, you're right. All right, so that wraps up our tablet news. I think that's the most tablet news that we've had in one episode.
Our phablet news, yeah.
Yeah, so Twitter's dropping TweetDeck, man. That's one of the most popular apps that they got out there. I've never used it. But yeah, this is pretty big news.
I don't understand the reasoning.
Twitter's been regulating everything anyway. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's cool, since we had a little bit of delay, folks. For you guys that are wondering why it's like 2-3 seconds in between. We're not thinkative today. That's just a little delay. Yeah, I don't know what's up. I don't know what's the mentality behind Twitter. What I've read is that they're trying to basically force or push people to use the official Twitter app to avoid issues. The official Twitter app doesn't suck per se. It's just missing features. But it's just missing features. Like when I first got on Twitter, when you put me onto Twitter, I used to just use the official one, and it's missing a lot of features. And these other third-party apps, they bring these features, and then Twitter has this ridiculous thing where they limit the tokens. Basically, tokens being how many users X app can have, which the Twitter app Carbon blew by that in like 2 months, and now they're just completely dropping TweetDeck.
Yeah, I know a lot of people use it, and like the stock Twitter app, like I like that I can change all of everything in my profile and all of that, and I get instant notifications. But like, I guess the only thing that I don't like about it is like I just don't like the quote feature on there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I use Carbon for a while, but I feel like it's not like, I think it needs a little bit more features. And then so I went back to using Falcon Pro. Like, the thing that pissed me off about Carbon is that I can't download images from the app. Like on Falcon Pro and all the other ones, you can just long press and save, because that's how I keep up on all my Kali smileys on my phone. So I can hit people via text with the belly face or something like that, or the KRS, But yeah, man, I don't know. Like, Twitter just, I don't know. I feel like the more people that use Twitter, the more they're trying to like lock shit down with that, and for good experience or for good reason. I think they want more people to use the regular Twitter app, but. And then also the thing about this is that it's pulling the Facebook integration from this as well.
Yeah.
So for those of you that do both at the same time for whatever reason, say goodbye to that.
Yeah, it's like honestly, I think not even limiting, denying people choices is never a good thing. And some of these companies, because there is no other Twitter, there's no other alternative to Twitter, there is no other alternative to a Facebook. These companies feel they can get away with this. It's their company, they can run it however they want. But I don't understand why pulling this stunt right here with this and what happened with Carbon.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I guess time will tell. Maybe Twitter has some kind of master plan and they just ain't letting anybody in on it.
Shooting themselves in the foot.
What'd you say?
I said they're shooting themselves in the foot. That's what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, man. I don't know, but Twitter, it just seems like Twitter is getting more and more popular by the day. Twitter's the new Facebook, which was the new MySpace, which was the new, I don't even know, AOL profiles or whatever you want to call it.
Black Planet and all that.
Oh shit! I forgot all about that. And there was another one that people used to use back in the day before MySpace got popping. I don't remember, like Zanga or some shit like that.
Rate Hispanic? There was a bunch of these shits.
All right, so let's just take this time to shit on Apple real quick. You want to?
What? I mean, I kind of don't feel like it, man. Yeah, let's go.
All right, so those of you who don't know what we're talking about, their stock dropped 2.5%, which takes it down to about $430, and they said it's their lowest closing price since the slide began last September, and they're down about 40% from its peak. But I guess I can't shit on them too bad because it's still worth bread. But fuck.
Yeah, I mean they're not. Don't get us wrong, people.
Back in 2011, you was the man, homie.
Yeah, don't get us wrong. Apple's by no extent of the word broke or going broke, but you got to start somewhere, and they started to decline, and the decline has happened at a steady pace. And I mean, I can only speculate. You can only fool the people for so fucking long.
Right.
You can only come out. You can only fucking say this is the new iPhone so many times before people are like, hang on, it's the old one. You made it slightly longer.
Yeah, we put a new camera on here, guys.
Yeah, and people. I'm telling you, everywhere I go, I see people with Galaxy phones. Everywhere I go, I don't know what it is now with the S3 that made it so popular, but every fucking where I go, I'm seeing older folks, younger folks, everybody and their mama with Galaxy phones. Matter of fact, I'm seeing them more than I'm seeing people with iPhones. So that the street says a lot, and the streets are talking. Even with the iPad, like a lot of people weren't too happy with the iPad Mini. You took the iPad, you made it slightly smaller. That's it.
Yeah, I think the big thing is like I called it a little while ago, and I said, when the S3 started coming out and more people started talking about, like, because before with people would be like, oh, I'll never leave my iPhone, I'll never. Galaxy S3 comes out. I'm thinking about, think about switching over. I kind of want to check this phone out. And now it's like, I love Android. I love the S3. Like our boy Nismo, who was a hardcore Jobs gang, and he copped the S3 and he loves Android now. He got the Nexus 4 now, So I think it's Apple's stronghold on everything just kind of, started slipping like one finger at a time. And I called it. I said, keep an eye on this because it's not going to happen overnight. A lot of people expect that all of a sudden people are just going to ditch it. But one by one, person by person, people are going to start to jump ship. And now we're starting to see the effects of that with the stocks. I don't pay too much mind into the stocks because, number one, I don't care. Number two, I don't really know how to follow it to begin with, and that makes me not care even more. But from a consumer standpoint, like I said, one person at a time, one group of people at a time just are changing their ideas about how they feel about Apple, and it's starting to reflect in their overall economics.
Because people, I think the one thing that is going to come out of this, no matter which way it goes, is that people are willing to pay a premium for a product. But if this trend continues, what we'll learn is people are only willing to pay a premium for so long. Like, cause now you don't even hear talks of like, what's gonna be in the iPhone. What the fuck are they to up to 6? You don't even hear talks of the iPhone 6 or nothing now. What you're hearing talk of is fucking the iWatch and the iTV. Like, that's really.
I'm not gonna front. The idea of an all-white TV with some Apple features would be kind of tough.
It would, but to me, it's gonna be nothing more.
It's gonna cost like $3,000, but
to me, it's gonna be nothing more than a 25-inch iPad on a stand. I shit you not. Mark my word on this fucking podcast. When and if they drop that, it's gonna be a 25-inch iPad on a stand with a remote control, like you said. It's gonna cost $3,000. People are no longer falling for that shit. People are gonna be like, but it's got the Retina display. Yeah, it got apps. Motherfucker. I
can play Temple Run on my TV.
Yeah. And people are no longer falling for this shit, man. People are seeing all this, like, all the, the wide range of Android phones, and like the phone is really yours. Not to say that an iPhone isn't yours, but you can personalize the shit out of your Android phones. And now they're taking pictures as good as any iPhones. They're recording videos as good as any iPhones. They're as fast as any iPhones. The screens are better than most iPhones. So
I like how you put in the show notes that the Apple stock's dropping like Pacquiao.
Yeah, they're dropping like that boy.
I got a good chuckle when I opened that shit up the other night. When I thought we had to remake New since we didn't do it, and you're like, nah, man, we did them last week. I'm like, word.
Dead ass.
I was sitting there with the Darren Williams face. I was like, yo, what's going on? And I opened it up, and there's a bunch of links. I was like, oh shit.
That's the first thing I fucking thought of. Dropping like Pacquiao.
So, speaking of the Apple taking an L, well, not really anything to do with Apple, but that what?
I said the reason I named it that because just the other day, for the first time, actually, I went on YouTube and I saw how Pacquiao got dropped because I never saw that fight when it happened.
Oh, that shit was vicious, yo.
Yeah, it was, man. My jaw hurt after that.
Oh boy, died in the ring.
My jaw was hurting.
So let's talk about Amazon and Debo and SimCity real quick.
Man, I don't know how can somebody.
So after like let's say 800 bad reviews, Amazon said, "Fuck y'all, we're not selling this game no more."
Yeah, I've never seen that. I've seen some products with some really bad reviews, but Amazon was like, "You guys, now we're not gonna be associated with you guys." This might as well be called SimCity Gate or something, because they royally fucked up the dropping of this game. And sad shit was, I was actually souped for this game, and I thought I was gonna buy it. Up until the day before, or 2 days before it dropped, I on the Kali.com, I heard that your internet was required for this, always on internet. And I was like, you know what, I ain't down with that. If there's no reason, like I don't want to play multiplayer on this. I just want to build the fucking cities. Why the fuck does my why do I always have to have internet on? Anyways, they went ahead and they released the game with this. And I guess on the good side, the game was really popular because a lot of people went to buy it. On the bad side, their servers couldn't handle the traffic, and people literally had to wait 5 and 6 hours to get a spot to wait to play the game. So you had to wait to get a spot to wait to play the game.
Nah, nope.
That's just crazy. And this isn't no $40 game, people. This is a $60 game.
Some shit people do to get some Jordans.
This is a $60 game for the regular version and a $75 game for the deluxe version, which brings a couple of extra things. So this is not no cheap game neither.
Fuck that.
This is not no cheap game.
Man, I hate that I like video games, man. Because these shits are getting out of hand.
And you know what's causing this? It's this whole new thing, and it's something I had put in the notes, this whole DRM thing. And for those who don't know, DRM means digital rights management. And I'm sure you've heard the term before, but you never knew what it stood for. I didn't know. I mean, I knew what the basis behind it was. I didn't know what the letters stood for. And that's to curb or stop piracy, which really, piracy is always going to happen. So they included this because I know the other SimCity games, like the regular one where you make people and shit, they're the other Sims games, I'm sorry, they're pirated heavily. So they took this to the next level with this, and it was a total fucking fail.
Yeah, pretty much. And I was kind of like you said, I was kind of amped. I was like, yeah, I might kind of want to check this out. Like, I remember playing SimCity on fucking Nintendo back in the day, or Super Nintendo.
Oh, word.
And I hadn't really played it since then.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, I might catch it when it goes on sale. Like I buy every other of my games. I'll wait till they drop the price on them shits. But yeah, I don't know, man. I've heard a lot of bad things about it, and then and I definitely don't like the always on internet. Not with that.
Me neither. I feel I don't understand the thing behind it. Include something on, like, put something in the software. I guess DRM would be that, so I don't know. But yeah, it was a bad idea, and they're paying the price for this. And I mean, I was gonna be somebody I was gonna buy this game, but now I'm not, unless they just go crazy and try to sell it for $20. I'm gonna be bootlegging this shit. I will be bootlegging this because it's only so long before the hackers, them 4chan boys, get mad and they release this shit.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Shout out to them because they always do work.
Oh yeah.
Maybe they can. Never mind. Moving on. Moving on. Let's go ahead and you know what? Before we switch to pop culture, I got a game recommendation for everyone. If y'all haven't checked it out already, y'all gotta go play Robbery Bob. This game is so fucking dope. It's like basically you walk around with a little guy named Bob and you steal shit out of people's houses, and you can't get caught.
Is that a Facebook game or is that like an Android game?
Nah, it's on the Android market. I don't know if it's on iOS for you Apple folks. And it's free. And you get like 3 levels. You basically have to like sneak around. How that's it's like an overview, like a diorama type of a house, and different rooms are different things. And you have to take certain things out of the people's house without the people in the house seeing you, or else they'll call the cops. And in some stages, there's actual guards, and they'll chase you down. But there's a bunch of little things that you can do so that the people don't see you. And it's a pretty fun game. And it's free. So it's been keeping me occupied when I get bored. So check it out. It's called Robbery Bob. Just a little app drop for y'all. We haven't done one of those in a while. Honestly, I haven't been searching for anything lately, but now I got this new fancy phone. I can do that now.
Yeah, y'all know I don't have shit on my phone because my phone sucks. So.
Got that Nexus though.
Oh yeah, the Nexus 7, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I don't remember what happened last week's episode of Walking Dead, but I do remember this week. So I guess let's just talk about that.
This week's was the one with Michonne and this was
one with with Rick, Michonne, and our boy Killer Carl.
And Killer Carl, yeah, I like this episode a lot, even though it wasn't your typical, there wasn't too much crazy zombiness going around. But I think this was the term I'm gonna use is a growth episode. Like
Yeah.
we saw Michonne being accepted into the group, and we saw her and Carl bonding. And I mean, besides his dad, I don't know if you've ever noticed this, Carl really hasn't bonded with many other of the group members ever since he was little.
Except for that chick.
Oh, except yeah, for what's his face, for the daughter. But
I can't think of her name.
yeah, me neither. She's one of those throwaway characters. Yeah, he
She literally doesn't do shit on that show but hold the baby.
At all. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty fucking much. Yeah, Carl and Michonne bonded. I think that's a good thing, and I really hope they don't fuck it up by killing her, because I really like Michonne's character, even though she only has, you know, how they cracking her on the internet. She only has one emotion, and that's that always pissed off one. I really hope they keep her character around. And yeah, this episode they found what's his face? They found the dude. Do you remember his name? I can pull his name up. But,
shit, I don't even remember his name.
They found.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look. I'm terrible at this too.
Yeah, me too. They found the old guy.
You know what? This was my favorite episode this season.
Oh yeah. They found the old guy, which we're looking up his name right now from season 1, where Rick had given him and his son, the guy who's basically saved Rick, where Rick had given him and his son the radio and told him he was gonna call him, and it turned out his son got fucking turned. That was a sad story.
Yeah, I think this was the most emotional episode that we've seen. Just for the simple fact that, you know, Rick thought that dude was dead. You know, Rick thought that he was dead, and, you know, obviously he and Rick had a connection because, you know, dude saved Rick. You know, if it wasn't for him, then Rick would be dead and we wouldn't have any of this shit going on right now. You know, and also that he was telling him the story, you know, because there was always that built-in emotion because of the connection with dude and his wife, but he didn't ever want to kill his wife.
Yes.
He just couldn't bring himself to do it.
Yes.
And that was already, like, sad. And that was, you know, in the back of my mind anyway. So, his name is Morgan.
Morgan, yep.
So, you know, that sad part, and dude just, the actor that plays him was really, really good because you can, like, feel dude's pain. Like, you know, all he had was his son, and he couldn't kill his wife. You know, like, all of that, you know, balled up into one. And then the part that really, like, kind of got me was the part where he was telling Rick that he turned on the walkie-talkie every day and Rick never answered him.
Yeah.
Like the emotion in that, like, that little dialogue there, like, that shit was just, like, crazy.
Yeah, that was a connection I didn't make.
Like, I don't know, I felt like...
And I was just saying that connection I didn't make till all the way after the episode was over was the fact that Carl had to end up killing his mother, and Morgan's son ended up getting killed by his mother. So, you know, it just shows, you know, there's the end of the world, shit's pretty much crazy.
Yeah, think about that.
Some people aren't built for this. And Morgan, you know, up until now, it doesn't seem, you know, we don't know if it's going to come in future episodes or what's going to happen with him, but it doesn't seem like he was built for this. He went crazy. And I know we all know Rick went semi-crazy, but he's been able to bounce back. And fucking, I mean, look at Carl. Carl's a soldier when you think about it. This little man had to murk his mom, and he's still walking around with his hat on like it ain't shit.
Yeah, Carl, like, I guess when you're young like that, you don't really have any choice, but, like, that's the way that, you know, you have to, you know, to live, you know?
You gotta
so, like, Carl turning into, like, fucking Terminator and shit. So yeah, but I mean, and then basically the other thing that this episode was, Carl really is starting to try to do things on his own and make his own decisions to do stuff. And he went through a lot just to get that picture. And I thought that was, I don't know, I thought that was like an underrated aspect of this episode, that he, tried to do all of that on his own just so his sister would know what their mom looks like.
He would have got his dumb ass killed. He lucky fucking Michonne's with him. He would have got his dumb ass killed there. That just shows he has a lot to learn. Because I think we forget that he acts so mature, but he still has a lot to learn. So yeah, man.
Alright, so you watched Spartacus this week, right?
Yeah, last night. Last night was arguably, and I've been reading this all over the internet, it was probably the best episode ever of Spartacus, if not the top 3. And fucking Spartacus was barely in it. It was mostly Gannicus the whole episode. Yeah, it was fucking... So the last episode left off with Spartacus and them getting betrayed by the pirates. This one picked up with Spartacus and the rest of the crew gonna leave the city heading for the North Ridge. And Gannicus Gannicus had to stay behind to create a slight distraction. And him and that one slave girl, it was him and one of the big ass German dudes. The Gauls. I'm assuming that guy was a Gaul. One of the big Gaul guys stayed behind, and they were going through the city killing people. And he came across the slave girl. Him and the slave girl hid out for a while. That was the first part. The second part was with Caesar and Cicero's son. There's still no love lost between them two. So Cicero ordered basically a mini festival in honor of Caesar for helping take over the city. And fucking Cicero's son almost fucked around and got Caesar killed. And then the climax of the episode was Gannicus, the slave girl, and the Roman lady who they fucking actually sold her to the pirates. And then Gannicus ends up saving her. Them 3 fighting their way out the city. Well, more like Gannicus killing everybody. And he also slashed Caesar real fucking good.
Damn.
Yeah, he fucked Caesar. Not fucked him up, but he caught him real good with a slash across the chest.
I was gonna say he caught him with a $150.
Pretty much a $150 across the chest. Caught him with a $150 across the chest. And I guess we know most of us already pretty much know that our favorite characters are going to die, because that's just what happened in real life, unless Stars just does something epic and has Spartacus and them live, which they're not gonna do. But we come to the reality that they're pretty much gonna die in this general area where they're at. That's at what's been hinted, because the North Wall, Cicero created a giant blockade, and they can't pass through. So they're blocked on both sides.
How many episodes are left?
No idea, but I would imagine something probably like 4, if that.
Okay.
Yeah, probably like 4, if that. And things are really, like I said, things aren't looking good for Sparty and his crew. But at least we know it's going to be a pretty epic battle, because we still have Gannicus, Crixus, and Spartacus. All 3 of them are still left.
Is what's the old boy's name? The black dude. He's still around?
No, it wasn't Amadeus or something like that. No, he got killed the last episode of last season.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh wait, really? So I didn't watch last season anyway. So. Well, wait, I thought I saw him in this season. I don't know what I was watching. I thought I saw him, but that was my dude.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. Homie was about it. But yeah, things are winding down for Spartacus. Caesar, and you know what's looking good, and it's just a shame that they fucking, I guess historically they couldn't do it, where they could have tried to put a Caesar in earlier, but the dude who plays Caesar is a really good actor, and there's already been talks. I don't think we've mentioned in the show yet, but I've already heard rumors that they're talking about giving him his own Caesar spin-off show.
Yeah, I think we spoke on it for like a quick minute or so.
And I really wouldn't even be mad at that, because the dude can really act. The guy can really act his ass off. So
I'm gonna probably, when the season wraps up, I'm probably just gonna watch it like straight through, just so I can see what goes on. Cause like I cancel my Stars and everything. Like I would watch it when I would come home from work on Fridays, and it would be on Stars.
Mm-hmm.
Like right as I'm coming home from work, and I would just keep it. But since I got rid of that shit, I haven't even been going through my alternate methods to watch TV.
Yeah, I usually don't watch them. I usually don't watch the episodes the night of. I watch them the next day in the morning. But these I tend to watch that. Try to watch the last couple of episodes as they happen, because they're fucking usually really good. And like I said, last night's episode was a top 3 episode already.
I'm gonna have to check it out when the season wraps up, or maybe when I have some free time. I'm gonna watch the season straight through and then try and catch the last couple episodes, as they air or whatever.
Yeah.
But let's go talk about this fucking funk flexibles again. Like I don't. What's the? Do you know the story behind this shit?
They've always had beef. For guys that don't know, Funk Flex is on Hot 97 and DJ MV is on Power 105.1, and they're the two main rap stations from around here. So there's always like a little beef about who has the best ratings and whatnot. And shit at times has got personal. This has been happening for years, for a lot of years, and things at times have got personal. But it's funny because it's gotten over personal twice, and both of the times have been with DJ Envy being involved. And DJ Envy is not even the most, from what I've heard from the guy being on the radio, he's not the most, he doesn't try to act tough or nothing or the other. He doesn't come off as a goon or nothing. But the first time it happened, I don't know if you're aware of this, when Star and Buck Wild had their show.
That was a while ago.
Yeah, when Star and Buck Wild had the show, the reason that Star and Buck Wild are no longer on the radio is because Star basically said that he would sexually assault DJ Envy's kids.
Good God.
Yeah, the guy, he said some real foul shit. And again, at that time, DJ Envy's kids were like a newborn and like a 4-year-old. And the guy basically said some sexual shit about them. So that happened, and that caused him to get kicked off the radio. Now with Funkmaster Flex, Flex has never taken it that personal. Flex is a big time shit talker, but he's never been that personal with it. And it always happens around the times that the ratings come out, when the shit talking gets stepped up a couple of notches. And Flex exposed DJ Envy for cheating on his wife for one of those like broads from like one of those like wife shows. I share her name. She's a Spanish chick, and I don't remember her name. Erica Mena, I think. And yeah, this shit got real ugly. I'm assuming Envy didn't want anybody to know about this, and yeah, dude might fucking lose his marriage because of this shit.
God damn, Flex dropping bombs.
Yeah, Flex. Oh, and hang on, I forgot the part. I'm sorry. Let me rewind it a step or two back. Again, I said Flex never gets this personal, and he doesn't. But the reason Flex got this personal, he said, is because somebody mentioned his daughter. What they said about his daughter, he didn't say, and I haven't been able to read online what was said about his daughter. But it was serious enough where he felt he had to take it here. And DJ Envy, he hasn't said, all Envy has said, he apologized to his wife. He was crying on the radio. He was fucking crying on the radio, apologized to his wife for cheating, and he didn't say nothing else about Flex, just that basically that Flex was envious. No pun intended.
I won't even ask you how.
No pun intended, but it's silly, because both these guys are paid. Flex is paid really, really, really well. He's probably the biggest hip hop DJ in the country, and he's been like that for years. on the most popular station in the country, and Envy's a real popular DJ himself too. So fucking shit's just been, you know how it is. Dudes with too much money that are bored.
Ain't got shit else to do. Somebody starts talking something about something, it's always something stupid.
Gotta take it there. Speaking of beefs, yo, what's up with our boy Drake and The Weeknd? You put me up on this.
Yeah, man. I was reading about this on the Collie. This shit is like kind of depressing, man. Like basically, from what I've been reading, is Drake is upset that Abel, like I guess he took Abel to Birdman and tried to get him a deal with Birdman, and I guess The Weeknd said, nah, I'm not taking this shitty deal. Like, we all know Birdman is a goon anyway,
Man.
So he ended up, like, I guess signing directly to Universal, and apparently, like, Drake wanted him to sign under his OVO label, and I guess he got pissed off that Abel went above him and just signed directly to the company. So I guess that's why they're beefing now, because did you listen to the song that Drake dropped, the 5 a.m. in Toronto?
They started to play it on the radio, but you know how if you've heard Hot 97, you know how they do. They play like the first 2 seconds, then they'll rewind it.
That shit was hot, son. Run that back.
Exactly, and they never get to the whole fucking thing. They basically played a little bit of it, and I know the song. I know it didn't have like any hook, if I'm not wrong. It was just him rapping straight through.
Yeah,
but,
he killed it. Yo. He was
inspired. Yeah, was he? Did
he said something like I guess it's just OVO now or something like that, and then they pulled all the OVO XO clothing off of the OVO website, and all the XO shirts that they had, they pulled all of that off.
Why?
And because of these two beefing now, I guess their quote unquote relationship is over.
That's some dumb shit. You know what? This makes me respect Weeknd even more. This makes me respect the man even fucking more.
And then allegedly, like there's a rumor that I guess they got into an argument, and The Weeknd said that he was gonna be bigger than Drake. So I was like, I don't know about all that, but I mean, everything else, like I can respect him for not wanting to take a BS deal. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, of course. Like I said, you can tell he has some musical integrity with that. Because he would have fucking fucked around, signed with Birdman, and Birdman would have had his ass on every dumb hook. I could just see it now. 10 tracks a year, Rick Ross, Lil Wayne, Drake, Weeknd. And he said, fuck that.
And it would be, I mean, like, it's cool, like, to have, him on a couple of songs here and there, but, like, if you really think about the rappers that are on YMCMB, like, if your name ain't Wayne or Drake or Nicki, or Tiger getting pushed, but Tiger been in the game forever, and I don't even want to get started on his fucking album cover, man. Jesus Christ.
Oh man, we can dedicate a whole episode to that shit.
Yeah, that shit was good. But yeah, nobody else drops on that record label, and Birdman's notorious. Like, didn't Drake just get into like a lawsuit with Birdman and them over his royalties and shit? Like, why would you even be mad at that? Like, that's supposed to be your homeboy. That's your friend. You know what I mean? Or whatever. You should be happy for him taking a deal that's going to net him the most money and the best opportunity, not because you want him on your label so you can make bread off him. Like, I understand you discovered him, quote unquote, but at the same time, like, if that's your friend, you should be happy for him taking the most, the best opportunity that he can.
Yeah, exactly. I could imagine what happened. I could imagine that he probably guaranteed Birdman that he could sign Weeknd, and now he looks like a dumbass in front of Birdman, and Birdman's probably smacking his ass around.
Well, now Drake got his own label now, so I think, at the end of the day, it really has to do with money.
Yeah.
Which is sad, because if these two don't squash the beef, we're missing out on some potentially great music between the two of them. So.
As long as Weeknd keeps doing this thing, I think Drake, Drake is obviously not on the same level or anywhere close to the level of a singer that The Weeknd is. But like, I don't even mind not hearing them two together.
I think that we would have some really good music between the two of them. They're just two different types of artists. And Drake's, like Drake had tweeted something like saying something like, "You owe me," or like, "I want more than a thank you. You owe me." I'm like, dude,
you're one of the biggest stars in hip hop right now. What possibly can this dude do for you? You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you just gotta step back and play your role. Like, you're making your music, you're doing your thing, you're a mega star. You know what I mean? Put other people on. Don't be so fucking selfish. If that's your friend, you know what I mean? If that's your homeboy, y'all so close.
That's that Cash Money mentality, though. And it's always been said. If you, like you said before, if your name's not Birdman, Slim, or Lil Wayne, you're really not eating directly off of Cash Money. You're really not eating. That's that Drake obviously caught that mentality now. So it's a shame to see. But hey, like I said, as long as the Weeknd is signed somewhere, he's gonna keep putting out that good ass music that he puts out. More power to him.
Yep.
We'll have to see. But yo, you
gotta listen to that 5 a.m. in Toronto.
Yeah,
Drake killed it. Good Lord, that boy killed it. But all right, let's move along. You added this topic in there, and I was actually going to talk about it on Lukey Boxing. About this this transgendered MMA fighter.
To be honest with you, I didn't even buy. Like I saw the title, and I know you're big on MMA. I really didn't read the story that much, but tell me what the fuck is going on here.
Pretty much, she was a dude, and she became a man, and she's fighting other women. And I guess people were bitching about it. I don't give a fuck. I don't. Like, she's one of those people that feel as though they were born in the wrong body. Like, I was reading the story, and, like, her parents, like, made her go through, like, all this, like therapy and stuff like that. That, like, they just are like, oh, you're just gay, so we're gonna make you straight. Like, they made her go through all this counseling and shit. Like, you have to find the story about her life or whatever. But she had gender reassignment surgery in 2006. She was 30. But people are saying that she has an unfair advantage, which may or may not be true. I'm not a geneticist or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure, like, after, like, you know, she probably has, like, a similar amount of testosterone in her body as the rest of the women MMA fighters right now. I don't see the big deal.
But doesn't that give her, even though she had the gender reassignment, like, muscle-wise, doesn't she have an advantage, like, in size? She's big, man. She is.
But she's fighting women her own weight.
She's fighting women her own weight?
Yeah, because in MMA and boxing, you're only fighting people at your weight.
That's true.
So I'm trying to see what weight class she's in. Let me hit this Google real quick. I'm going to see how much she weighs. Because she looks like she's maybe 155 pounds, something like that. She looks like she's super big. You gotta keep in mind, when fighters are fighting, like when you see them at weigh-ins, that's after a weight cut. So during a weight cut, they're sweating out a lot of the water weight. So that's why their muscles look so tight and they look so ripped, because their bodies are, in a sense, dehydrated.
Mm-hmm.
But she's saying that she might lose her license to fight, which I don't think is right. I don't know. I don't really have an opinion. Okay, so she's a featherweight. I think that's 145 pounds.
Man,
she's not huge.
For a second here, I was initially, before we even started talking about this, I was gonna say no, fuck that, she shouldn't. You know what? I'm on some gladiator shit. Let her fucking do it.
Yeah, but like, I was just reading this right now, and they're saying, like I just said a minute ago, that her testosterone level are, you know, lower than even some females, because you have to get testosterone, you have to get tested for that stuff. So if it was elevated, number one, that would come, like, for men, if you have elevated testosterone, that's, you know, they think you're juicing to take your testosterone.
Mm-hmm.
So illegal, you know. But with her, you know, to be a woman, you know, how testosterone and estrogen works, been through biology and all of that, you know, she can't live as a woman with super high testosterone levels. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this was in 2006, and they say, like, the gender reassignment surgery, like, that, in a sense, really literally turns you into the other sex. So, I mean, if she want to fight, let her fucking fight. She fighting women her own size. You know, what's the big deal? You know, if she had never come out and said that she was a man, nobody would think twice of it, and they would be on her job. But now it just comes to the taboo that everything regarding gender and sexuality here, that's really what's blowing it out of proportion, and it's sad.
Yeah, I feel like you feel. Let her fucking fight.
I did step box real quick.
Yeah, let her fight. Why not?
All right, so my bad.
No, I was gonna say why not.
So I'm gonna let you talk about this next topic because this is something that you're big on. I don't have an opinion, but I'll go ahead and let you cook because you'll be able to explain it better than I could.
Yeah, I think I'll keep it brief for a lot of you guys that don't know. This past week, President Hugo Chavez from Venezuela passed away. He had been fighting a form of either, I want to say it was prostate or testicular cancer. It was prostate cancer. Over the past about 2 years, the past year, especially 6 months, it has been really, really bad. He was down in Cuba for a couple of operations. His most recent one was over about 2 weeks ago, and then about 2 days before he died, he caught a real bad infection, and he passed away. And I mean, the man was a great leader. A lot of people are going to disagree, but no leader of any country is perfect. But he turned poverty around in his country. Violence was still a big issue. I'm not going to say that Venezuela is perfect. Venezuela is pretty much a lot more violent than Iraq and Afghanistan combined. One year, about 30,000 people got killed. I want to say it was like 2009 or something like that. 1 year, something crazy, yeah, about 30,000 people. But yeah, Hugo Chavez passed away this weekend. I just want to give a rest in peace shout out to everybody in Venezuela. He will definitely be missed. Like Judd said, I'm a big fan of the man and his ideologies. But this is when the real revolution starts for those who are up on that, like me. Him passing away does not end anything that's happening in Venezuela. There's already a successor, and the revolution will continue.
All right. As long as I have my weapons and I can lock my door, I'm straight. All right. So, you want to hand out an L this week to someone?
Ooh, yeah. I want to give this L to Justin Bieber. This dude is acting all fucking crazy. The latest one, it's funny. If you guys haven't seen the picture, go to thekali.com. The Tupac picture. But yeah, Justin Bieber's out here wilding out, cursing out, and threatening paparazzis and just doing all types of dumb shit. And this kid's gonna ruin his career. I mean, honestly, dead ass. I don't know what this kid does. He sings, right? Is that what he does? Bro, I shit you not. People, you can laugh at me, son, but I do not know what this kid does. I know girls, black girls, white girls, Spanish girls, girls of all races love him. They love him. You guys know I work at a school. I mention anything Justin Bieber and girls go into tears. Fucking tears. So I had no idea what this dude's been doing, but lately he's been on some gangster shit. I know like a couple of weeks ago he was like, the TMZ took a picture of him smoking weed and they made a big deal about it. And I know the kid's fucking paid. I know I've heard about him buying Ferraris.
So that kid got bread.
Yeah, I've heard of him buying Ferraris for his friends and shit just for shits and giggles. And he's finna fuck up that money, man. Pulling this type of nonsense. Like, get your shit together. Make your fucking money. Don't go on no craziness. And people are blaming it because he's been on like this whole hip hop thing lately, like with
of course,
hanging out with the rappers and sagging his pants, like whatever the fuck it is. And I doubt it's fucking that. People just want to throw race into the fucking into the mix. But whatever the fuck it is, get your shit together, Justin Bieber. You get our L of the week this week. You too rich for that shit, son.
Yeah, my L of the week goes out to my HTC Evo 3D. That's like my L/salute.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, man. Last week, y'all, I was like, fucking around with my phone or whatever, and I go to unlock it, and no life at all. Damn. So, me being the tech savvy dude that I am, run through a couple of things, no life at all. So I had a struggle for like 2 days, and then my backup phone
I took an L there because the power button didn't work. And I tried to flash a ROM, and it boot looped, and I couldn't put it back into recovery. So I had to run the Sprint and upgrade my contract.
Yeah.
But the S3 is pretty nice, so
yeah, that's what you definitely know.
I ain't complaining.
Hardware wise, you can't be in a better position than
I could have a flip phone.
Yeah, a Razor.
Jeez.
A
right,
Razor
yeah.
flip.
I got one of them track phone shits from Walmart.
Oh yeah.
Nah.
Oh, I was about to say shit.
It could be worse.
I was about
I
to
have
say,
one of those. It could be worse.
I was about to say, let me find out you went that way with a track phone.
Oh, them old Nokia phones. I be having this bitch playing Snake.
You know they're still making those, right? I was gonna put that as one of our. I was gonna put that as one of our stories. I want to say it was Nokia. They were fucking. This phone is gonna have like a 3 month battery life or some shit. But the phone's mad basic. Like it's not even a touch screen. It still has like the keyboard on the front or whatever. No color to the screen. It's like that green and black. And fucking yeah, the thing's gonna have a 3 month battery though.
Damn.
Ridiculous. But yeah, S3 definitely no joke.
All right, so let's go to our Netflix recommendations. I guess I'll go first. Yeah. I don't remember who went first last time. Mm-hmm. But my Netflix recommendation is The Musketeer. It's a spin of obviously the Three Musketeers, but it's very action oriented. I think the director is the same dude that made like the Replacement Killers and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's him. I'm gonna Google it real quick. But anyway, the action scenes in here are fucking dope. Like dope. Like the sword fighting scenes and all of that. Like it's really like modernized, kind of like the action. It's not just a quick like ching 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 ching. Like there's one scene in the beginning where a dude's fighting in a bar, and he's like rolling on like wine barrels.
Yeah.
And there's like all the wine barrels fall, and he's running across them as he's fighting the dudes.
Nice.
So it's dope. Like, and at the end, like in this, I don't even know what they're in. It's like they're on these big ass ladders, and him and Tim Roth are fighting each other. They're sword fighting while on these ladders, so they're jumping back and forth. Like it's very crazy. The stunts are awesome, and you know I always been a fan of the Three Musketeers novels. So to have that kind of action spin on such a romantic story, such a classic story, is pretty cool. So that's my Netflix recommendation, The Musketeer.
Nice. My Netflix recommendation is a series called The World Without End. It's like a British miniseries. It's actually from last year, from 2012. It's only 8 parts to it, and it has to do with King. Hang on, I don't find out if it's King Henry or which king it was, but this is basically like Game of Thrones minus a lot of like the little sorcery and magic bullshit through it. And it's the people and the church. Like this has the church in it, but trust me, this is like the most corrupt church ever. You got fucking priests raping people and priests molesting people and just all types of craziness going out. So you got the political aspect with the king, you got the religious aspect with the church, and then in the middle of all this, the Black Plague comes and starts killing people. And you know, the story's portrayed through the eyes of the rich people, the working man, and the peasant. And it's good all the way through. And I just randomly picked this episode to watch it. I mean, picked this series to watch it, and I saw it in about 2 sittings. Like it was that fucking good. All types of plot twists. Main characters get popped every episode. That's the one thing about this show, and I liked it. Like main characters get popped every fucking episode. So yeah, so definitely it's good to 4 out of 5 stars. World Without End on Netflix.
Oh yeah, I gotta give mine. I give The Musketeer 4 stars just because I like the Three Musketeers novel.
Nice.
All right, so you got any shout-outs before we hop off?
Shout out to everybody at the Kali.com. Shout out to Brooklyn Zoe, BK. Shout out to our Twitter people. I've definitely been slow on the Twitter thing. I haven't been updating it. I was just messing around with it before, trying to put our new logo up. You guys are going to see our new logo once I up this episode on either YouTube or Podmatic. If you guys no longer see our episodes on Podmatic, it's because there's a little bit of bullshit behind the scenes that's going on, and we're trying to work around that. But like I said, if you don't see it there, we're always up on YouTube. We'll be up somewhere. We will be up somewhere. I don't care if I gotta fucking backwards engineer a little two-way radio and play this shit like that, but you will fucking be hearing us. So shout out to all our fans.
The radio like Rick and Morgan.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, but man, shout out to all our fans, man. Like I said, hold in there with us. We've been having technical difficulties. This episode is up in 2 parts, and that was our bad. Technical difficulties all over the place, but hold on to us because we got big things coming.
Yeah, definitely. Just shout out to my man Lukey real quick. Shout out to Lukey Boxing. If you guys are boxing MMA fans, definitely check his show out. I'm on there more often than not. Just dropping in my little opinion on everything boxing MMA related. But yeah, like Danny said, just hang in there with us. We having some stuff that we got to iron out. We're working on some big things for this year. Again, summertime coming, all of that good stuff. I might have forgot some folks, but again, if you think I should have shouted you out and I didn't, just hit me on Twitter, yell at me, whatever you got to do. But that's it for this week. So for Danny, I'm Jut. This is GeekSet Radio, and we out.